Today we are gonna do another question, which is the resultant, the resultant of two um, two forces of same magnitude acting acting at um, acting at 90 degrees to each other to each other is 141,414 newtons in magnitude. Find the magnitude of each of each force. So this is a pretty easy question if you ask me. So let's just do it. Um, we know that the vectors are of equal magnitude. Both are going to be of equal magnitude. Let's make this white. Let's make it a lot more thicker. Copy this, copy that, move it right over here. Let's make it 2 by 2. Let's move it to a corner as well, and let's make this blue because why not? So I'm thinking how to explain this. I mean, it's not that hard to explain. This is a pretty simple question. I'm thinking how much should I explain this. If you um yep, this is it. So let's just call the vectors some names which will make our life a lot more easier. So let's call the resultant as vector r, this white vector as vector a, and this blue vector as vector b. And according to the question, the thing that we know is theta, which is the angle between vector a and vector b. I'm assuming that is 90 degrees, and the magnitude of vector r is 11414 newtons. I mean, like, I can't see the numbers in like the way you speak them, so it will be like 1414. I don't know how people do that. I find it very difficult. Also, another information that the question has given us is the magnitude of vector a is equal to the magnitude of vector b. So we have the formula. The magnitude of the resultant is going to be square root of a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cos theta, and I will add the upper thing. I forgot what's it called. There is a name for this top part. This is obviously the square root sign, but this top line, like this top line had a name. I heard it in a video, but I don't remember what was the video or what was the name. So let's just keep the values. We know r is 1414. I'm just gonna say 1414. I can't speak it. So also squaring, if you square both sides, you will get square over here. We know that the magnitudes are equal, so let's say there it is equal to x. Um, Not really necessary to call it x, but I think it will be fine. So it will be x squared plus x squared plus 2xx cos 90 degrees. Cos 90 degrees is 0, so this comes out as 0. So all of this is 0. Um, Now let's do some math. So 1414 squared will be 2x squared, which means I will actually just write this in a much more a better way. Let's see. It will be 1414 square by 2 square root. A question that you might have is, why did not we put a plus or minus, since you should put a plus or minus, so we just have to put plus, since the magnitude always is gonna be positive, so we can't take something like a negative. If you take negative, it would technically refer to it as being in the opposite direction, but we only need the magnitude, so not a big problem. um, if you're a math whiz, you can probably do this in your brain, but I'm not a math whiz, so I'm gonna use a calculator. So it's square root of 1414 squared by 2, and you get 999.8. So I get 999.8. I think it's newtons. Um, so very close to 1,000, but sadly not 1,000. I think it would be much more fun if it was 1,000. But anyway, we have this. So let's conclude this. So to conclude this, the magnitude of each force of either force, I think rather than each, either would be much better, of either slash each, just choose the one which is better, I would say, of each force is 999.8 newtons. Yeah, and that's it for today's video. Yeah, also another question that I wanted to ask you, which is, what would be the angle, this angle? What would be this angle? If you just look at the picture also, it will be much more clear. And this angle will actually be 45 degrees. Um, and I think that's something like a general knowledge thing that you should know. Um, anyway, that was it for today's video. In the next video, we are gonna do another question. Till then, bye bye.